Okay, last time we looked at how we would graph a line using the x and y intercepts. So today we're going to look at lines that only actually have one intercept. So the first example of those types of lines we're going to look at are vertical lines. So you can see the red line that I've drawn on the Cartesian plane here. Okay, I'm going to pick a few points on this line, and I want you to tell me what those points are, or I want you to write them down. Okay, so there's one point, here's another point, here, tell me what this point is and what this point is. So what are the coordinates of those 4 points? Sorry, we'll do this one here. Okay, so this one at the closest to the bottom, hopefully you've got that is the point 5, -4. And this point here, that's a point 5, -1. This point here is the point 5, 3. And this is the point 5, 6. Now, do you notice anything about those points? And hopefully you do. And this is going to be the same with any point on this line. The x-coordinate is always 5. Okay, so for that reason, this line is just called the line x is equal to 5, because all of the x-coordinates are 5. So knowing that, take a look at this line here. What do you think the equation of that line is? So this line goes through the x-axis at -4. It's a vertical line. So its equation is just x is equal to -4. What about this line here, the y-axis? What would the equation of the y-axis be? Well, in this, we already know this from the last video, all of the x-coordinates are 0. So the equation of the y-axis is, confusingly, x is equal to 0, because all of the x points are equal to 0. So vertical lines are always in the point x is equal to b, where b is just any number. Okay? So if someone said to you, draw the graph of the line, so draw the graph of x is equal to -9. Where would you draw that graph? Well, you would just go over to where x is -9. You could put a point there if you wanted, and then you would draw a vertical line, oh, nice straight line, down through that point. Okay, so that there would be the point x is equal to -9. Okay, now let's take a look at horizontal lines. Now you might already guess what's going to happen here, but let's just investigate. Let's take a look at a few points on this line. We'll just do 3 this time. Let's do this point here, and this point here. Okay, this point is the point -6, -6. This is the point 0, -6. And then this last one here is the point 5, -6. So what's happening when we have a horizontal line? Well, we can see that in this case, it's all the y-coordinates that are -6, and that's going to be the same across the whole line. So that is the line y is equal to -6. So horizontal line just cuts through the y-axis at one point. So the equation of that line is y is equal to something, wherever it crosses the axis. Okay, so if I give you this line here, what's the equation of this line? Well, let's take a look. It's a horizontal line. It's going through the y-axis at the point 0, 3. So that would be the line y is equal to 3. And again, if we look at the x-axis this time, what do you think the equation of that line is going to be? So in this case, all of the y-coordinates are 0. So that's the equation of the line y is equal to 0. So horizontal lines are always in the form y is equal to, we can say b again, where b is just any number, not obviously any number, but where it cuts through the y-axis. Okay, we'll just look at one more type of line that only has one intercept, and these are lines that go through the origin. So you can see here that this goes through at the point 0, 0, and it doesn't cross the x or y-axis at any other point because it's a straight line. Okay, and these graphs are always going to be in the form y is equal to m times x. There's no plus c in this case because remember C is the y-intercept, and if the y-intercept is 0, then we're just adding 0, okay? So graphs that are just in the form y is equal to something times x, they're going to go through the origin. That's how you'll know. So if we want to sketch this graph, y is equal to 2x, well, I already know that this graph is going to have to go through the point 0, 0, okay, because the y-intercept is 0. And I just need to find one other point on that line. So I can just, the easiest thing is just to say, okay, well, if x is equal to 1, what is y going to be equal to? And I can do that by substituting x is equal to 1 into my equation of a line. So y is equal to 2 times 1, which is 2. So that means that another point on that line is the point 1, 2. Okay, so let's just plot that, 1, 2. There we go. Now you can do a third point if you want, just to be sure. You can already see that you could draw a straight line through those 2 points, but it is a good idea to do a third point just to be certain. So let's now say, okay, when x is equal to, you can pick anything for x, whatever you want. Let's say when x is equal to, let's do -1 this time. So if x is equal to -1, then y is going to be 2 times -1, which gives me -2. So another point on this line is the point -1, -2. So let's plot that. -1 and -2. And we can see that it's in line with the other 2 points that I've already plotted. So that's kind of my check. I must be on the right trail here. So let's draw a line through, and there's the point y is equal to 2x. Okay, so in this video, we have covered 3 different types of lines that only have one intercept. We've first talked about vertical lines, and those are always in the form x is equal to something. Then we talked about horizontal lines, and those are always in the form y is equal to something. And then we talked about lines that go through the origin, and those are always in the form y is equal to 2x.